Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video, and today I'll be doing a review of the Eachine H8C Mini. And now, as you can see here, it looks very similar to the H8 Mini, the JJRC or the Eachine version, the same thing. And also the full-size large H8C, which I will show you just in a second. Okay, here is the JJRC H8C, the full-size mini one. And now I actually don't have the H8 Mini because I actually converted that to a different frame. But as you can tell, the general design of these is all the same. It's the same body style as the Cheerson CX-20 and a couple other quads. So I really have no idea where it originated from, but you know, it's a relatively popular design. But one thing I just got to say about this really quick is I really don't like this. It's just, you can see it has prop guards and landing gear. Now the landing gear you can take off, and you can also take the prop guards off. However, I have found that if you take those off, even if you put the screws back in that they take there, without the weight of them, it will wobble and shake like this. It'll shake really bad. And other reviewers have found this as well, so it's not just mine. So you need to use the prop guards. And because this is a, they have really tiny motors. I don't know, I'm thinking they're 6mm motors because they are just tiny. They're way too small for this, and they are geared with SEMA X11 props. This thing is really underpowered. It takes a long time. Like in yaw, it's really mushy. Like if you give yaw, it'll take a while to spin up because they're geared and it has so little power. It can't really do much. Has like almost no punch to it, and it's just really not a good quad in my opinion. I don't really like it, and I bought this one from Banggood. I believe it's $28. As you can see, there is a little camera up here, but also from that, like the rest of the quad, the quality from that is awful. And as you can see, it's pointed way far down. It's almost like a 45-degree angle down. So you have to, if you wanted to film that remote there, you'd have to be like up this high just to get it in shot. And you probably wouldn't even be able to tell it's a remote. The quality's so bad. I'll show you some footage at the end of the video, but it's pretty bad. What it comes with here is the instruction manual. Not very good. Really, the only helpful thing is this diagram of the buttons on the remote. You only get 2 spare props, so only 2, not even a full set. Pretty cheap there. You get a USB charging cable ending in the standard 1.25 micro JST plug. I'm not sure if you get both of these with it. I can't remember. It's been so long since I unboxed this. My review's pretty late on it, but I think you get both of these screwdrivers with it. So 2 screwdrivers, only 2 props. It's kind of pointless. The box is okay. It's got a carrying handle, so it's not that bad, but it could be better. And then here is the transmitter, and as you can see, this thing is really funky looking, but I at least do applaud them for a new design look, at least compared to the other standard ones. But this thing, there's not a button up here, so you have your 2 shoulder buttons, and this one you click it and give input, and it'll do a flip in that direction. Like I said, since it's underpowered, flips are pretty bad, so you need to be giving like full throttle punch out flip while you're going up, so you don't lose a ton of altitude. Then over on this button, you have your rates, and you have 3 different rates. And the yaw and pitch are actually pretty nice on this, but the power just isn't there, so you can't really use it. So I'm thinking if you transplanted this board to another frame with different motors and props that had a lot more power, this would actually be a pretty sweet flying aggressive quad. In the middle here, we have our power button. It's a little push-in, push-out button. That's pretty nice. And your sticks are okay. They're not too bad, but they have these giant, obnoxious thumb pads on them that even for a thumb flyer, they're not very good for. I'd much rather have sticks. And also for a pincher, they would much rather have sticks, so they're not very good. And over here you have trims, left roll and pitch trims. Those do work there. These 2 little buttons are fake. They're just in the plastic. And then you also have yaw left and right trims on the arrow here. You can see there's arrows, but there are not any on the up and down on the directional pad, because if up, I believe if you press and hold it, that'll start video, and if you press and hold again, it'll stop, and if you just click it once, it'll take a picture. And for the bottom, I think if you press that, it'll enter into return to home, which obviously doesn't work. It's just a fake feature, a gimmick to get beginners to buy it who don't know any better. And then once you give input, it'll go out of that but be in headless mode. But don't use return to home in headless, and the camera is pretty much worthless, so. But, you know, even better, I just recommend not buying this. But the battery here is something a little bit rather interesting. As you can see, this cap, this top it comes off here. If you squeeze it and push it in the right direction, it'll pop out and will expose the battery, which you can see here. And I believe it's a 300 milliamp hour battery. just plugs into the board. And I have seen Banggood selling an H8C Mini like here with 5 spare batteries coming with it, but I don't know why you'd want that, because this battery is like glued in there, or double-sided sticky tape, and it doesn't really, as you can see, the corners don't really fit out, so it's not easy to take out. I've tried it, so that'd be kind of pointless. And also, I've seen a lot of reviews on the site that are saying, oh, how great this is, but I think that's really disappointing that people would just lie in their reviews, because this isn't very good at all. And I've heard a couple other people say they don't like this at all either. So here we have on the bottom, there's kind of an opening back here into the camera, but there's no port there. On this side is the micro SD card slot. Let me focus it. Micro SD card slot there, however, does not come with a card. And over here you have your charging plug, so you plug it in to charge that. You don't have to take the battery out. You also have a little on-off switch, turn on there. And the camera, let's see if I can show it. The camera flashes red. You can't really see it in there, right there. And once if you have a card in, it'll go green. And then it'll also change when you're recording and stuff. So let's take a look at the LEDs. We have reds in the front arms up here. Let me move the light. You can see them a little bit better. We have reds up there that are not that bad, but because of the black plastic, they're not very good at all. I mean, just, you know, you can't really see them in flight, especially in bright daylight. And then you have blues in the back there, so kind of backwards, and also black plastic. Not good LEDs. However, on the white version I've seen, they glow pretty well. And now for the charging, with the USB charging cable to charge through the quad, it took about 45 minutes the times I did it with that. And the flight times I've been getting only about 5.5 minutes. So, you know, even with a geared setup, just because the motors are so small, the battery's pretty small, just everything is not very good. I've only been getting 5 minutes, 15-second flights. So it just doesn't fly well, it doesn't fly long. The camera is crappy, so really overall I think I would definitely not buy this one. It's just, well, that was it. So now let's go check out an indoor flight and then an outdoor flight with a really short, brief camera footage test after that. So let's go check that out. Okay, as you can see, I have the H8C Mini here, and I bound up the stock controller. So let's just start off in low rates here, just making sure. As you can hear, it is quite loud with the geared setup, and it's not all that stable. It is pretty stable, but not as much as some. Just try and trim it out. The trim is wandering quite a bit here. But let's do a full throttle punch. That's full throttle right there. This is pretty much a full battery, so before I lose power, I'm going to do some flips. So you press the right bumper, and then give input, and I'll do a flip. And you can see, they're not too bad, but you do need to be giving a lot of throttle before and after the flip, so it doesn't lose too much altitude. So let's start off. Here is the low rate yaw. You can see pretty slow. And then here is low rate pitch, really low as well. Move into mid rate, and I don't know if you can tell, but the yaw, you can see it takes a while to start and stop. Like right now, start, stop. Like it's really mushy because it's so hard for the motors to spin up and spool down because they're just way too small for this quad. And then let's go to high rates here. So you can see the yaw on high rates actually isn't all that bad, but it just, you know, there's no power to go with it, it's not anything good. And then here's high rates pitch. You see it can't even stay up in the air really. It just goes down to the ground. Let's try and, that's full throttle. Yeah, it can't do a full throttle on full throttle. So you can see the LEDs aren't all that bad, but especially in the white body, they're actually pretty good. But overall, I would say I wouldn't buy this quad. I definitely wouldn't buy it again. You see, it looks pretty cool though. And then there's that, I don't know if you can see it, but that camera up there, oh, that's pretty much worthless. It's like worse than the CX10C camera. I think it's the same one actually. But I'll show some outdoor daytime footage right after my outdoor flight review. But I guess that's really it. I mean, there's not too much to show. And that is full throttle, and there I got low battery. Let's land it. It wasn't a fully charged battery, but pretty close, so it's just, it has no power to back it up. If this had a step larger motors, with a lot more power, it might be a pretty good quad, but right as it is, I wouldn't recommend it at all. So now let's go check out the outdoor flight. Okay, here we are outside for the flight of the Eachine H8C Mini. As you can see, I have the guards left on because it needs them to fly. If you take them off, it shakes like crazy, but I have taken the landing legs off because it doesn't matter if those are off. I have it bound up to its stock funky looking controller here. So let's start off with a hand toss. And it is shaking, I can hear it, so maybe it does need the legs a little bit. I've been flying it without them. Maybe it's just because of a little bit of wind, but just super underpowered. It's just, and it can't even fight the wind. I need to go to mid-rates here. So, but I guess I won't show you the rates because I showed them in the indoor flight. But and those LEDs are pretty bad too. The yaw kind of overshoots. Like, it spins out and it's got so little power because of the 6mm motors and the geared prop and just the heavy design of it. It's just not a very good quad at all. Don't really recommend it. As you can see, it doesn't fly too bad outdoors with a full battery. On high rates, it manages to stay up. Let's do some flips. As you can see there. Get them in close there, and they're pretty decent flips. You need to be going up in altitude to do them. Let's try a double. Oh, that might have been a triple. But at least you know you can do that. I guess it's not that bad of a flyer, but just definitely not a very good quad, I would say. And I'll include some camera footage at the very end, right after this. But there's just not much to show at all. Showed it in my indoor flight. It's just not that great a flyer. Let's hover it up close. It is, I definitely can hear and see it shaking. So, kind of needs all the accessories. Prop guards look cool, but not that functional. Yeah, I guess that was good enough. Like I said, nothing much to show. So I'll put some camera footage from the onboard camera. It's not very good at all. It has a huge steep downward angle right after this one. But there we go. That was my review of the Eachine H8C Mini. Like I said, not a very good quad. I wouldn't really recommend it. So there we go. Please subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.